Kelsey Zeiser with Light Reading for OrbTV, and we're here at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. I'm joined by Holger Forst with Ernst & Young. Good to see you.
Good morning. Hi.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at Ernst & Young.
Yes, thank you for having me here. I'm coordinating for EY all our global assurance services for telecom operators. And assurance means everything which deals with accounting related advisory, but also all kind of forensic services.
Okay, and the telecom industry continues to undergo a massive transformation. What are some of the biggest challenges that telcos are facing right now in that transformation?
I guess the challenges that telcos are facing are the present challenges since a couple of years, which is the enormous change going to a digital disrupted business with a lot of new players. And telecom operators are still looking for their place in this so fast changing ecosystem.
That makes sense. So do you think we'll continue to see some industry consolidation this year? And are you expecting to see that at all on the service provider side?
I'm absolutely sure that the discussion about industry consolidation will continue. If you look at it from a geographic perspective, if you see how successful North American operators are in a large market with a low number of players versus Greater Europe with a huge number of operators dealing with the same number of customers, there is certainly a case for some consolidation. In the given regulatory regime, it's not easy, but I'm sure talks will continue. If they will be successful or if potential deals are called off, as we have seen in the US last year, I don't know, but the talks will certainly continue.
Okay, and how will partnerships be important for service providers this year, and in what areas would those partnerships be most important, for example, in content delivery or business services?
This is a great question actually, and I think partnerships become more and more critical for operators. Operators want to go into these new digital business models. They're looking for their place in these business models. They need agility to cope with the agile OTT players, and they have realized, especially the big incumbents, that their engineering DNA makes them a little bit too slow in this fast-moving world. So partnerships, getting agile companies on board, partnering with them, help them to get speed, helps them to get into new verticals. So this is, from my opinion, absolutely critical.
Okay, that makes sense. And what are some other areas that service providers are going to need to invest in this year?
I guess, again, all what they are looking at is how to improve customer experience, how to interact with customers, how to overhaul their existing BSS, OSS systems, and everything that can help in this regard, together with, adding new service, adding new value to their customers is what makes them critical. That could be in the area of security, that could be in the area of any kind of related industries, Internet of Things, just to mention, a very wide area. So I think there's a wide open field where they can go and look out for meaningful partnerships.
Mm-hmm. And do you expect the regulatory environment to change this year, and how could that perhaps impact service providers, especially in the US and the UK?
This is a really interesting question. We just recently issued a study that we did where we inquired, C-levels, and it was a follow-up of a study we did 2 years ago. And when we look at one of the challenges, one challenge has lost its priority, going from number 1 or 2 to number, I guess, 5 or 6, and this was the challenging regulatory environment. So what this tells me is that operators have realized that they have to accept the regulatory environment as it is, and they have to find their workaround and to cope with that situation. But praying for change in regulatory environment does not help to solve their operational issues.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, thanks so much for your time today, Holger. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. It was good to be here. Thank you.
Good to see you. This is Kelsey Zeiser with Light Reading for OrbTV.